Good morning, everyone. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Today's May 26, 2020. We'll get started here in just a minute. Make sure that you can hear me. If you can let me know, please, either in the chat or just say hello. Unmute your microphone and say hello. Feel free to do so.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Hello, Jessica, Fernanda, Daniela, Chris,
Good morning.
Claudia.
Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Mariana, Jamilka.
Hi, good morning.
And if you guys know how to change your name, if you could please change your name so that I can recognize who you are. I just want to make sure we don't have any uninvited guests. That can tend to happen with Zoom conferences, so I just want to make sure it's just us. All right, today in Grammar and Context, we're in week 14. And if you're looking at your calendars, guys, just to kind of orient ourselves a little bit, today's May 26th, so we're in week 14. Our last day of class actually is the 19th of June. So we still have, we still have a few more weeks left. But this week we're going to focus on love and wisdom. Okay, these are going to be the two concepts that we are looking at. I wanted to bring these two concepts together because I think it is going to bring some interesting discussions and different ways of looking at, instead of looking at love and wisdom separately, this week I want to try for us to bring these two together. Today specifically, I'd like to talk about the topic of love, though. And I'd like to begin by asking you, all of you, the simple question, what is love? Besides the song, the hit song back in the day, what is love? For you, what is love? If you want to go into the chat, or if you want, of course, to unmute your microphone and speak, that would even be ideal. But for you, what is love? How would you put it into words? And it can be a short response either in the chat or, of course, unmute your mic. Think about your past experiences with love. How would you express it? How would you describe it, I should say? Love is like an engine or motor for many things in our lives, all right? That's interesting. So it's like an engine or a motor. So it's like you're using a simile here to describe what love is. So it's like an engine or a motor for many things in our lives. So maybe it drives many things in our lives. Can anyone add something to that? That's a good idea. That's a good thought, Daniela. So can anybody, or you, Daniela, can you expand on that feeling of warm personal attachment or deep affection? Okay, good. Warm personal attachment. That's an interesting idea. Personal attachment. A warm personal attachment as opposed to a cold personal attachment, right? Okay. A warm personal attachment, a deep affection. Deep affection. Very good, Fernanda. Anybody else? What is love? Think about past relationships that you've had with other people. Maybe even think about your own expectations about what love should be. Okay? What is love? What should it be? What has it been? What has love been in the past for you? Based on your experiences, what are your expectations about love? Whether those expectations were met in the past or not. What is love? Anyone else? Got 11 participants. Should have 11 answers. Love is a feeling that you love for the others who feel a strong affection. So again, we have this term, strong affection, okay? Love is a feeling that you love for the others. So how could you define the word love without using the word love? Wow, that would be hard. That makes it more difficult, right? Love is a feeling. What kind of a feeling? For the love for others, for others. What is a love for others? Who you feel a strong affection? Yeah, no worries. So what do you think? Can you expand on that? Or can anyone else expand on that? Thank you for sharing, Chris. Love is a feeling that you love for someone else. A set of emotions, feelings, beliefs, and behaviors. Wow, all of that. About something or someone that we care about and want. Someone that we want, someone who we care about. So it's emotions, it's feelings, it's beliefs, and it's behaviors. That's interesting. So it's a combination of emotions, feelings, beliefs, and behaviors. It sounds complicated. About something or someone, right? So we can love a thing and we can love a person. Okay. Very good, Deyanira. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? Again, feel free to add to what's already been said, or if you have a completely different idea, share. Feel free to share. I like these key terms. I like strong affection. I like bringing in emotions and feelings and beliefs and behaviors, all of that. There are different types of love. Okay, so now we're getting into types, some specifics. We can have love for friends, family, things. Absolutely. And it's a strong feeling in which you show affection, right? So a strong feeling. So what is it to have this? What does it mean, like a strong feeling? Right? A strong feeling. And can you anyone go into these different types of loves? Love is a feeling that gives us the capacity to treat people with affection. So do you treat all those that you love with affection? Love is a strong feeling when you show affection through actions, okay? Show affection through actions, okay? I like that. Not just saying the words, right? Not just saying I love you. Okay. All right. So it's not so much saying the words I love you, but it's what you do, the affection through the actions. I like that. I like that relationship, Kim. Jessica, thank you. Also, some good ideas there, and Claudia. Right? Sometimes some of our definitions are very short and simple. Some of us are getting into the weeds, so to speak, getting into some of the details. Right? We can love friends, we can love family, we can love things. So is that all different? And how is it different? Loving your dog versus loving your family versus loving your friends, maybe versus loving your significant other. Are they all the same? Is there some overlap? Are they completely different? Love is a feeling of respect. Okay, so respect. Mariana brings in that word, respect. Love is a feeling of respect and affection for another person and ourselves. Okay, so here we also can love ourselves. That's interesting because we're going to watch a video here, Mariana, in a few minutes that I think speaks to your ideas. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else have any other contributions to this open question? What is love? What is love? So we can love other people, other things. We can also love ourselves. Hopefully we love ourselves as well. We've talked about actions versus feelings versus beliefs. We need to love ourselves first. Okay. All right. So we need to love ourselves first before we can love someone else. Sounds good to me. Anybody agree or disagree? Anybody have anything else to add? How do you love yourself? How do you love yourself? Or how should you love yourself? What happens if you don't love yourself? Think about your own situation, maybe even during these times where we're kind of isolated from many of our family and friends, our workmates. How do you manage to love yourself in these challenging times? You don't have to share, just think about it if you don't want to share. If you want to share, of course, feel free to. This week, we're going to focus on love and what it means, right? What it means. And we want to use this context this week, obviously, to look at some grammatical structures. But more importantly, for right now, we want this idea, we want to get our heads around what love is, how do we express it? How do we discuss it, describe it? Maybe even how to show it, but how do we articulate this idea of love? I want to show you guys a video, and I hope that the audio is such. I'm going to play just a second of the video just to check the sound. If someone could jump in and let me know if you can hear the video.
A young man.
Okay, can you guys hear the video? Is the audio coming through?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to play this video again through its entirety. It's only about a minute or two, and then we'll discuss it.
A young man, why are you eating that fish? And the young man says, because I love fish. He says, oh, you love the fish. That's why you took it out of the water and killed it and boiled it. He said, don't tell me you love the fish. You love yourself. And because the fish tastes good to you, therefore, you took it out of the water and killed it and boiled it. So much of what is love, right, is fish love, right? And so, young couple falls in love. Young man and young woman fall in love. What does that mean? That means that he saw in this woman someone who he felt could provide him with all of his physical and emotional needs. And she saw in this man somebody she feels that she can write. That was love, right? But each one is looking out for their own needs. Right? It's not love for the other. The other person becomes a vehicle for my gratification. Too much of what is called love is fish love. Right? An external love is not on what I'm going to get, but what I'm going to give. We had an ethicist, Rabbi Dessler, who said, the people make a serious mistake in thinking that you give to those whom you love. And the answer is, the real answer is, you love those to whom you give. Right? And his point is, if I give something to you, I've invested myself in you. Right? And since self-love is a given, everybody loves themselves, now that part of me has become in you, right, there's part of me in you that I love. Right? So true love is a love of giving not a love of receiving.
Okay, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts about this external love versus fish love or internal love? What do you think? Do you agree with this or do you disagree? What do you think? What are your thoughts about this person's description in making a difference, a distinction between internal love and external love? What do you think? Again, feel free to send a message in the chat. Or, of course, better yet, unmute your microphone. We can discuss it. What do you think? Do you agree with this person's definition that it's more important to think about love as being external and showing and giving? What do you think? When you hear this, watch this video, what stands out to you? And does it change at all your ideas about love or not? What are your thoughts? I'm curious. Okay, if you agree or disagree, why? What stood out for you? Anything that he said kind of either you agree with or disagree with or can say something about? Because he's basically assuming we all love ourselves, right? So that's a given. It's like he's assuming we all love ourselves. Okay, now maybe that's true, maybe that's not, right? Maybe that's up for an argument. But let's say that you love yourself. Hopefully everyone loves themselves. What about this idea of external love? Think about it in your own case. Does that apply to you? Do you see things that you do in your lives that would be examples of that? And how important is that? That we love those to whom we give. Thinking about your own relationships with other people, other things. How much of it is giving versus receiving? Right? If you look at, Daniela, so if you're with the fish example, the fish love, we're thinking about what we get in return, right? We love something because we feel like we're getting something back, right? But he's kind of turning that around and saying, no, it's more about how and some of you mentioned behaviors, right? Showing affection, but through behaviors and feelings and beliefs. What kind of behaviors, feelings, and beliefs do we show others that demonstrate love? Because what he's saying is if you demonstrate that love to someone else, it's going to be reflected back to you yourself. You're actually looking at yourself through someone else by the way that you give to that person or that thing. Maybe it's a pet. All right. So I wanted to share this video. If you guys have a chance, I would watch it again. Maybe even write down some of the key phrases. I think whether you agree or disagree, it has some interesting ideas about how we look at love, right? In terms of what we feel we get versus what we feel we give someone else. And I want to look at our first activity for today, and I want to do this today in class. I want to extend today's discussion about what is love, having watched the video now and having received some really good ideas here in the chat. I'd like for us to go into the virtual classroom. Again, we're under week 14 now for the semester. Okay, and we're under week 14. If we scroll down under activities, you'll find a forum, and it has one very simple question. In one sentence, based on your experience, what is love? Now, before you answer this question in the forum, I want you to consider all of the responses made by your classmates, including your own, for those of you who shared your opinion. I want you also to consider now the video, and feel free to go back and watch again the video if you want to review it again. I'm going to give you a few minutes here to upload. I want you to think about your definition. Maybe it's a slightly different definition than what you initially shared with us this morning in the chat. But I want you guys to think maybe 5 or 10 minutes here of a good definition. One sentence, all right? It doesn't have to be a long text. One sentence. But again, reflect on your own definition based on some of the comments and things we've talked about this morning about love, and of course the video. If you agree or disagree, bring that into your own definition of what is love, but in one sentence, right? So we can get very specific, like later on. We can get specific on, well, what kind of a love for, what's the difference between loving your boyfriend or girlfriend, your mother, father, your sister, your brother, your friend, your pet, fish, whomever, whatever. Maybe you love, love music, whatever we think about when we think of all the different ways that we can love things and people. Right now, we're looking for a general definition that would apply to everything, to all those things. In one sentence, right? Take your time. I'll give you about 5 or 10 minutes to think about it. Because this is a grammar class, it should be one sentence, so make sure that it's a complete sentence. Right? But really think about some of these ideas, and maybe your ideas change just within these few minutes. Maybe you got some additional ideas that you want to include, right, into your own definition. All right, so it's 9:22 right now. I would like for you to post your response no later than 9:30. We'll give it about 8 minutes or so, right? And then we'll look at some of the responses. But again, take your time, take a few minutes here. Again, watch the video, think about your response, draft your sentence, reread it, review it again before you post it. When you're ready, then go ahead and upload it, please, to this forum by adding a new question. In fact, let me add the question, and then you can respond to the question. So I'm going to ask the same question here. What is love? And if you could reply to this question.
If you don't want to do what other people do, if you don't want to have an average life, listen to this story. I bumped into this mentor a little bit later, this guy named Alan Nation. He said, no, Ty, the secret in life is to ignore 99 out of 100 people, but when you find the one person who actually knows what they're talking about, like, actually listen.
Okay, guys, when you feel you have completed your thoughts about your one sentence response answering the question, what is love? Go into the forum and select the question, what is love? And from there, you should be able to offer a reply. Okay, so go ahead and hit reply underneath the message and go ahead and post your response. Now, because this is a grammar class, I want you to pay close attention also to the grammar. All right, I want you to take a look at the grammatical structures, your capitalization, punctuation, spelling. I think all of us have an option to edit our response. So after you've posted, take another look at it. Sometimes looking at it, once it's been posted, take a look at the grammar. If you need to change it, go ahead and click edit and make any changes to your one sentence response to what is love. Make sure the first word is capitalized. Take a look at not only your own response, but the responses of your classmates. Now you'll notice that there is a rating system for each of the responses. All right, please don't rate it at this point. I want everyone to respond first, and then I'll ask everyone to compare all of them, and then I would like for you to rate each of the responses, including your own. But let's wait until all the responses have been submitted before we go in and rate. There are 12 of us, so we should have 12 responses. Okay, so you may have to continue refreshing your screen. At least I'm having to refresh to see all of the responses. Take a look again at your response, your sentence in terms of the grammar. The grammar. Make sure that the first word of the sentence is capitalized. Double check the grammar for any punctuation, spelling. Make sure you have complete sentences. Let's see how many responses we have here. We need 12 before we can rate. We've got 7 responses so far. So we're waiting for 5 more responses. Once we get all 12 responses, then we will go and rate each of the responses. Okay, make sure, guys, take a look at your response. If you need to change anything, go back and click edit. Go ahead and be reading through some of your classmates' responses. Really good, some good responses here.
Ben?
Yes.
I think we cannot see the commentaries of our classmates. It says that it's hidden.
Oh, it's hidden. You can't, so let's see. Can you see your own response?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can change that setting. That's weird. Okay, okay, we've got 8 responses. Okay, let me double check this, see if I can change this. Okay, guys, if you can go back now I don't know if you have to refresh or exit and come back into the forum. Let's see if now you can see the responses. Let me know, please.
Yes, now I can see my classmates' responses.
Okay, great. All right, thank you for bringing that to my attention. And
Thank you, Ben.
let's now look at all of the responses. And you should notice an option to rate the responses. Okay, I'd like for you to go through and rate the ones, rate all of them. Which ones do you feel have the most, that are most significant to you, right? That have more meaning for you. Feel free to go through and rate those on a scale from, what is it, 1 to 5, 0 to 5? 5 being the highest, the one that has the most significant for you, but make sure you read through all of them first to get some ideas. This is anonymous and it's just to get some ideas, right? And it doesn't even, it's not even reflective of the idea itself. It's just which ones of these definitions resonate the most, is just has meaning for you personally. But again, there's no wrong answers here. They're all very good responses. I'll give you guys a few more minutes to go ahead and rate each of the responses.
Ben,
Yes.
I don't know how to rate to my classmates' comments.
Okay. Does it give you an option to rate?
No.
Like, I don't know if you're looking at my screen, but I have like a drop down menu that I can go and rate.
Oh no, I just can see the options to permalink, to parent, reply. That's it.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. If you're not able to rate it, maybe later on, if you can access it later with maybe a different device and you have the option to rate, that's fine. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what I want to do today, guys, to conclude today's activity, and this will also be what we work on tomorrow in class. What I'd like for us to do is here in a minute, we're going to go and divide up into our breakout rooms. I want you to divide up into small groups, and I'll tell you who's going to be in each group. But I want you in your group of 3. All right, we're going to try to set up in groups of 3. I'd like for you to choose as a group one of these sentences. And I'd like for you to choose what's called a sentence stem, S-T-E-M, stem. A sentence stem is like the first part of a sentence. It can be a clause, it can be a clause with some prepositional phrases, but it's the first part of a sentence. So as in your teams, I'd like for you to choose one sentence stem from this list of replies. So for example, one sentence stem looking at Kim's example. Love is the feeling of how our hearts feel warm, satisfied, grateful, and full of happiness. Maybe that's one stem. Now compare this to, let's see, Mariana's example. Love is a feeling of respect and affection. That could be a stem, right? Danielle's example. Love is a motor or engine for our lives. That could be a sentence stem. It's not the entire sentence. It's going to be the first part of a sentence. So the first thing that I'd like for you guys to do today, and we can continue this tomorrow in class, is to choose one sentence stem from the list of responses to the question, what is love? And you can decide as a group, as your small group, how much, what exactly is the stem, right? So you can decide how much of the first, how many words are going to be included in the stem. But I think most of us are starting with love is, and so I would continue even in Chris's example. This is a good example. It's not important to begin, in my opinion. All right, so you can just begin. Love is a feeling, which most of the people always search for. That could be a sentence stem. All right, so we're going to divide up in our small groups. I want you to decide as a group which stem you want to focus on. And then tomorrow, we'll continue working in our groups with continuing with this activity. All right, so again, let's divide up into our groups. I'll stop sharing my screen. Does everyone understand what I mean by sentence stem? If you have some doubts, let me know. All right, I'm going to create breakout rooms. These are going to be our teams, okay, for today and tomorrow. All right, now if you have a team of 2, let me see. All right, hold on for 1 second. Let me close the rooms. Sorry. Let me start again. Sorry, that was my mistake. Let me try this one more time so we can get closer to 3. So the breakout rooms are going to close here in a second. Sorry about that, guys. My mistake. Forget the first set of breakout rooms. Okay, I'm going to create, maybe. Can I delete it? Close all rooms. Recreate. All right, sorry guys, one more. Let's do this one more time. Okay. Sorry, these are the breakout rooms. All right, now there might be breakout rooms with 4 of you. And if you have 4 of you in a room, then one of you, that's fine. We'll tomorrow I'm going to describe what we're going to do. So please remember the breakout rooms. I'm also going to take a screenshot of this so that I can remember. These will be our teams for today and tomorrow, maybe even going into Thursday. All right, so we're actually a little almost out of time. Just take note of who's in your room. Breakout room, Danielle, Fernanda, Jessica, Yamilka. Breakout room number 2, Barb, Daniela, Kim, Mariana. Breakout room number 3, Claudia, Chris, Deyanira. Okay, so those are the breakout rooms. Tomorrow, we'll start this activity again, and I'm going to ask you guys in your teams to decide on one sentence stem based on the responses. And then tomorrow, we'll continue with what we're going to do next with the activity. Okay, so just want to make sure everyone knows which breakout room you're in. Does anyone not know which breakout room you're in or which team you're in? Okay. All right. So tomorrow, guys, we'll continue with this activity. And if you didn't get a chance to rate some of your classmates' responses, if you can try before next class to go in and rate those. Again, please check all of the responses so that when you're working with your teams, you're familiar with all the responses, and you can decide as a team on one sentence stem. each breakout room or each team will have one sentence stem that you're going to work on. And again, tomorrow I'll go into detail on what we're going to do with those sentence stems. All righty, guys. I think we'll stop there. Are there any questions about what we did or discussed today in today's session?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
In case we cannot rate the phrases, can we comment them, or what should we do?
If you're not able to rate them, don't worry about it. You don't have to comment on the responses. I just want to make sure that everyone is able to read all of the responses. And if you can rate them, fine. If not, that's fine too. That's no problem. But you don't have to reply to those responses.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Any other questions, guys?
Yes. How can I see in what team I am?
Okay, I'm not sure if you can see now in Zoom, because I've set up the rooms, but I'm gonna go ahead and read off one more time who's in which team essentially. Okay, because tomorrow we're not gonna go into the same breakout rooms. You're gonna get together with your team members. So let me read off again the teams. All right, so team number 1. Danielle, Fernanda, Jessica, Jamilka. Team number 2, Barb, Daniela, Kim, Mariana. And breakout room number 3, Claudia, Deyanira. Now, if anyone's missing in today's class, we'll continue, we'll get with me and we'll add a few more to breakout for team 3 with Claudia and Deyanira, so they have more members. And we'll set up another breakout room if we have to. But if anyone is watching this that was not here in the live session today, or maybe was here earlier and left, send me a message, and I will assign you to a team. But we've got, for sure, our first 2 teams set. We've got 4 members. That's fine. And yeah, I'll just, if you're watching this recording, send me a message to be added to a team. If not, we'll add you to the team tomorrow. All right, Daniela, any other questions,
Yes.
guys?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, if there are no more questions, then we'll go ahead and conclude today, and we'll continue this activity tomorrow. So that'll be it for today. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see all of you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
You.
Bye.